The Day-to-Day Apologist. Welcome to part 2 of my History of Holidays, Thanksgiving. If you haven't had a chance, go to the playlist section, scroll on down to the History of Holidays. I did a Halloween videos, which you can check out there, but the first part is also there as well. If it's Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Have fun, relax, but make sure you go out and give to somebody and say thank you to people who really deserve a thank you, because they probably don't get it very often. Now, let's talk about how Thanksgiving got into becoming a national holiday. After the Pilgrims and Indians did their Thanksgiving festival celebration, there's really no recorded documentation stating that they did it again and again and again every year. In fact, up until about the I believe 19th century, most Americans had no clue about Thanksgiving. The papers of which Wilson wrote were lost until a gentleman by the name of Alexander Young discovered his letter and put it in his book in 1841 called The Chronicles of the Pilgrim Fathers. Now, there was this woman, her name is Sarah Hale. She was a woman activist. She was an editor, she was a writer, she was just a woman who was really involved. And she grew up celebrating a Thanksgiving-ish kind of meal in her old New Hampshire home with her family and friends. And when she became an adult, she saw that our country was beginning to divide by the 1850s and said, we really need to do something like a Thanksgiving to unify our country before it's too late. So she tried and tried and tried. And for years, until the Union and the Confederacy went to war. Civil War happened. Now, after she tried in her magazines and her letters, trying to push for legislation to make a national holiday on the 4th of November, nothing happened until Abraham Lincoln became president and caught wind of Sarah's protest to do something to get people to stop thinking about themselves and to unify a broken nation. It didn't take long for Abraham Lincoln and his staff to go, that's a really good idea. And so, on the fourth Thursday of November, Abraham Lincoln made it into law that we were going to have a day where everybody stopped doing something and start being thankful and giving to others and giving back to God. Now, we should be very thankful for Sarah for persisting. It took her a long time to get that to happen, and she was, of course, alive to see it happen. Now, some interesting facts. Sarah brought Thanksgiving into a public light, but because of the book that was written in 1841, a lot of states really liked the idea of Thanksgiving, and though it was celebrated at different points of the fall season, there were states that were actually already kind of celebrating a Thanksgiving kind of gathering. So when it became a natural holiday, the American people immediately took hold of it and were like, we love this. Yes, let's do this. Let's make it a national holiday. Let's stop what we're doing and be thankful. Maybe it will end this war. Now, Lincoln may have made it official, but there were presidents who, throughout the early years of our nation, did pick certain days to tell people, hey, this is a day to be thankful and to give. George Washington did this when the war ended, the Revolutionary War, and when certain battles were fought and won. John Adams did as well. Now, Thomas Jefferson did not, because he felt it was a separation of church and state, and so therefore he didn't do any days while he was president of Thanksgiving, which is intriguing, but you know, he was the president. He can do what he wants. So, did things try to become consumerish? You know, for the most part, Thanksgiving has stayed the same since the times of the Pilgrims, and people seem to get the understanding to stop doing things and to give and to be thankful and to give thanks to God for providing. But there was a time in 1931 when President Roosevelt briefly moved Thanksgiving up a week in an effort to extend the already important Christmas season. He did this because they were going through the Great Depression, and he wanted an economic activity. Well, a few states were for it, but 16 of the states said, no way, Jose. And during a 2-year period, there were 2 Thanksgivings. Awkward, right? Finally, the president got it. He said in 1941, no more. We're going to make this day a national holiday for good. And it's pretty much stayed that way ever since. Now, we do deal with some consumerism, but for the most part, we are pretty much understanding that it's important to sit back, relax, but take a look at our lives and to truly be thankful and to give to others in order to help them be thankful as well. I want to thank God for placing upon man the importance of taking a moment, breathe, stop doing things, be around loved ones, and rejoice. Because our God, our Father, wants to do that with us as his children. God bless you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification button. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you take time in December to look, because I'll be posting another one about Christmas. And perhaps, if I get enough live views and likes, I'll do one for New Year's as well. God bless. Have a great day. And if it's Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving.